Welcome back on this Tuesday evening. We talked about this at the top of the show. Now we want to delve a little deeper into the submarine procurement bid and what it could mean for the defense industry sector here on the East Coast. Ken Hansen is a defense analyst and researcher, and he joins us from Dartmouth. Always good to see you, Ken.
Hey, Todd. Glad to be with you.
Let me start with this. The South Korean firm and a German firm appear to be the top contenders to build Canada's next fleet of submarines, the number being bandied about as a dozen. Does that seem to jive with you from what you're hearing?
Yes, I think so. There are differences between the proposals, and the other thing the government is after is also industrial incentives for the automobile industry.
Okay.
Either Volkswagen or Hyundai.
All right, we'll get to that in a second. The Secretary of State for Procurement is in South Korea. Do we read anything into that? Could, you know, the advantage be to South Korea right now?
I assume so from that fact, but my assumptions may not be worth anything. So.
Listen, from what you know of the sub designs, is there a standout at this point? Is there one that you like over another?
The Korean submarine is larger. And what I'm concerned about principally is if we're going to be building these submarines for probably 20 plus years, we have to be able to adapt them to the new developments in warfare. And of course, I'm thinking principally here of drones in Ukraine-Russia war, which have become integral to how that conflict is being fought. And every military arm and every military platform is going to have some capacity to operate drones.
Okay. The subs will live most likely in Halifax and Esquimalt, Victoria on the other side of the country, but is this largely for Arctic patrols? I mean, we've got obviously the Pacific and the Atlantic coast, but so much attention is being focused on the Arctic, and you know, whichever design wins, are they going to be able to stay underwater for long periods of time?
Yeah, the answer to that is yes. Both submarine designs have what's called air-independent propulsion, that they are able to stay underwater for a good 2 to 3 weeks, as I understand it. With the Swedish submarine or the German submarine design having more in the way of that capability. The Hyundai submarine, the Korean one, is larger, conventionally shaped for a submarine, and is designed for will be more suitable for open ocean operations.
Okay,
long distance.
Let's go back to what you mentioned earlier, and that's about this idea of benefits, and whoever offers the most investment in Canada will probably have the advantage. Yeah. What are you hearing on that front? What kind of perks could, let's focus primarily on the East Coast. What kind of perks could we possibly see on this coast, depending on whichever bid wins?
Yeah, so there was the announcement yesterday of the very heavy steel overhead crane that's being put in Algoma with Korean money. So those cranes are needed because the density of the steel that's used to produce the hulls, so they can dive deep into the pressure of the ocean, has to be very dense and it's very heavy. So that's an indicator that they're already working on something. And then what I was hearing today was that the Korean delegation was very receptive and open to the idea of a car plant in Canada or some kind of facilities. They have a huge facility in Georgia, in the United States, and the current political environment they find to be really bad for business. So they are actually talking about the possibility of moving to a more stable business environment.
And
in addition to that...
Yeah, on the East Coast, you see anything?
On the East Coast, there's talk about the Korean company going after the old Imperial Oil site I gather they've put a retainer of some kind to hold the property until the decision is taken. So that would mean maintenance, repair, servicing, spare parts, all that sort of thing here on the East Coast.
And we're looking at pictures where the old Esso refinery was, Eastern Passage, Dartmouth area. That's what you're referring to.
Correct.
Yeah.
That again is just something I've heard.
Yeah, they're also talking about perhaps building torpedoes in Canada as well, so that would be interesting. Look, Ken, before I let you go, it's kind of interesting. There's been some speculation. The Navy is seeing a large build-out. We're seeing the River-class ships will be built next. Anyone who crosses the bridges in Halifax can see that the naval docks are getting pretty full. Add in 6 submarines perhaps. The Navy's going to need space. We've heard that Casino in Nova Scotia is leaving the waterfront. It's right next door. Would it make sense for the Canadian Navy to try to get a hold of that space?
They're going to be looking at whatever is available. I could see that being a logical site to pursue. However, there are other potential spots. I mean, the Navy has waterfront real estate underneath the Dartmouth Bridge, which is just a grassy gravel area.
Okay.
And they have the ammunition depot further back in the Bedford Basin. So they actually already own property there as well. So depending what the price is, depending on how much the shipbuilder is going to put into this, anything's possible.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll certainly watch for that. There's a lot going on, and it's going to be played out for the next several years. So possibly good things for the East Coast. And we appreciate your insight as always, Ken. Thanks a lot.
Oh, you're very welcome. Glad to be with you.
We'll take a time out. We'll be right back.